Honorable greetings to you, my fellow royals of Kairiani and Alubera, Kairiani, Trinidad and Tobago. It is a royal and magnificent day. It's a bit gloomy outside. Yeah, and it's not bad the weather right now. I'm here frying some fish. Give me a minute. Just 1 minute. Right, I'm back. And I am having fried fish from like what we got. One of my relatives was able to grab some from one of the local fishermen or young entrepreneurs of the community, and it is amazing. I did fry some pieces here for breakfast, and so far so good. So whilst here, I remember yesterday I was speaking about when I had drawn reference to the national anthem, first sentence, forged from the love of liberty, as well as I had made mention pertaining to folks in fisheries or local fishermen, fisherwomen, as well as all agricultural beings, more or less. And also asking the question of the whole representation and the symbolism of this when we sing it in such spaces, and diplomacy is very much low when it comes to the justice and honor of fellow royal beings who operate in these sectors, all right, when it is very much healthy for food security. So beings have also been asking about my aloe plantation for the royal family of Alubera, and it is something that is very much pivotal that we need to also, it's good that you are also seeking to acknowledge and remain interested in being a part of this initiative project. So for my fellow indigenous people, my indigenous beings, the whole operations of securing this estate has been for the restoration of our identity. Those of us who are indigenous beings, native Amerindians, the first peoples of the lands, in these bits of civilization, we've had our own food security, shelter security, health security, wealth security, educational security, intelligence security, and many other securities, that governance security as well too, as the whole scope of governance also trickled down from our order. And in this operation of that, we are leading in the scope of the matriarch, meaning that it is the mothers. I call on my fellow royal mothers of the land as well too, for us to join in and continue to upkeep this pace, so that we are the ones who also set the order and jurisdiction for our fellow sons and fellow daughters or maidens as well, or young maidens and sons of the earth, of the motherland, as we are the closest thing to mother nature, essentially. Natural women, the healers, the nurturers. I'm not saying the sons are not the same. However, it is the call for the mothers as well to rise in our jurisdiction and operate in this bit of healing, so that we are able to restore some sort of justice and honor with everything that has been going on. So the system of operation that has been imposing colonialism on the nations, not just locally or regionally, but also globally, has been because of that patriarchal order. And returning to the matriarch has been the motion thus far. Also, the Trinitarian order also speaks about that in its representation. Trinitarian order, whomsoever has read it and also have been aware of my recording otherwise at the meeting hosted by the National Association of Trinidad and Tobago, the constitutional reform meeting held last April. Get familiar with it. What it does, it is that response and solution towards protecting us as the sovereign beings by utilizing the natural law and natural governance. Now, it would have those entities that would seem as if it doesn't exist, yet it does exist and operate. Not here as much. When I say not here as much, as that maybe not much beings is aware of it, but out there, aside from just being in this space of Trinidad and Tobago, we have it in the rest of the Americas. It is active and aware and operating, since it protects all diplomacy as well as all indigenous jurisdiction rights as well too. So I also share information about the United Nations Indigenous Peoples Declaration, as well as also the Americas Indigenous Declaration of the Peoples of, right? So I hope that we all have been following, and also what sovereignty represents and states in its whole mechanism, you know. So my fellow royals, with all that has been going on, let us look at how the scope of business and entrepreneurship has been. What is going on with the economy? We have many persons who are creative, like we are much less, not much less, but we are very much abundant in our creative intelligence. And our creative intelligence have not been appreciated for some time. I would say it like this, because in terms of the appreciation, it is not as much. It is growing, has been growing, yet it could be greater done when we appreciate the creativity and the intelligence of another, more so than being intimidated by it and seeking to compete against other creative intelligence of a fellow royal being. It makes no adamant sense, because together we aspire, together we achieve. Once we are able to aspire in a similar direction, we can achieve the world together holistically as a nation, rising in growth outside of the recycled traumas and turmoil. So this is also just as much essential. We need to step away from the battles against ourselves internally, battling with yourself internally, to think that, okay, I can't go ahead in life without choosing to stomp down on this one here, or belittle this one here, or try to, like, you know, undermine this person out of gluttony. I am not able to grow without doing these things. We need to step away from that kind of behavior, in our essence, grace, because it doesn't really do much. All it does is put everything else at a halt, and then we enter into a stage of stagnance. And what fruits are being bare on that land? Nothing. Nothing would be bared on that land. We have so many abandoned properties because of these kind of mindsets as well too. Abandoned buildings, underused buildings. We have institutions like, let's say, all right, like let me say fisheries building. All right, this is for this purpose for the community and the residents to utilize. All right, somebody in the own personal field will be like, okay, because I feel like this, productivity and progress can't occur because of my own personal feeling, more so than what is the professional thing to do. As in, all right, bringing together the harmonious powers and allowing us to put together our resources and allow it to work for us in strength and growth. Okay, so it's a shut out from these things. So I call on my mothers, I call on my fellow royal sons, as I have mentioned before, as the clan mother of the royal family of Alubera, the Carib, Indian, Amerindian queen and goddess of the royal family of Alubera. Feel free to come and be a part of it. It is no problem at all to me. The aloe plantation is something that is very much essential. It is great. It is something that is actually going to aid with a lot of wealth restoration. When I say wealth restoration, we have many things to do with it in a multi-purpose way. As organic products we could utilize, soaps, shampoos, conditioners, all these things, as well as ginger. We are working on ginger and also turmeric. So the other part of this is to not compete against our fellow royals as well, to think that, okay, because someone mentioned it here, I don't want to be a part of this initiative, because why? In my own field, I feel like I do it better than you. Oh my word! Are we not seeing that that there are beings who are not the carbon fiber of here, dominating our lands more than us? Are we not seeing these things? No, it's not. I'm not against any entity actually growing in their grace by utilizing their skills and intelligence. I would not be against that at any point. However, when it comes to being around a body of people, the carbon fiber of the land right here, we are not ready to even say, well, okay, set aside all the negative feel and the intimidation and the fear, and let us work together to get it done. Let's do that. Let's do this. This is what I'm waiting on. Not really waiting on, because I would still operate in my emotion to do the best that I am able to do, to keep recharging and serving in royalty, because I do also see us all as fellow royal beings. So when I refer to my fellow sister as goddess and queen, it's because I actually truthfully honor you as goddess and queen. Same as my fellow sons, kings, as well, fellow gods of the earth. I honor as well too in our royal grace. It is not to feel as if you're better than anybody or through any ego. It is all in my soulful appreciation for us all. And I do hope that at some point we would get there with the love and unity, not just unity, but the harmonious synchronity. All right, it's a beautiful rise. I'm going to eat some beautiful fish. Enjoy your day.